welcome to the Bullcast Podcast. I'm Katie Pickler, and with me today is Nicole Ellis.
Hello, Katie.
And Cameron Spann.
Revenge is a dish best served cold.
Oh, revenge. What are we talking about here?
Revenge spending? I have never heard of this term. Have you?
I've heard this, and we've talked about this before. We just haven't called it revenge spending. Let's first talk about revenge. So revenge is obviously something a lot of people know about. Talked about in pop culture, it's talked about in movies, it's talked about in song. Before we get into this episode about revenge spending, then Nicole has put together a little list on the best songs about revenge.
Ooh, kick it off then. I think this is the ultimate revenge song, right? Before He Cheats by Carrie Underwood. That's just classic.
Yeah. Well, and you just picture the music video.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was just singing the lyrics.
I am the girl who can't shoot whiskey, so give me the fruity little drink.
Next on the list is You're So Vain by Carly Simon.
That's a good one. I really like that one. Kill Bill by
SZA.
SZA. I was going to say SZA.
That is SZA.
That is-
Ja, ja, ja.
Next on the list, Mama's Broken Heart by Morena Lambert.
I don't know this one.
I've heard bits and pieces.
Next on the list is You Ought to Know by Alanis Morissette.
Oh, yeah.
You.
And you know who it's about?
No.
You know who this song is about?
Who?
Uncle Joey from Full House.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, they're both Canadian. That makes sense.
They dated, and this
Yeah.
song is about
Yeah,
Uncle
yeah.
Joey.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to have to re-listen to this now. Okay, These Boots Are Made for Walking, Nancy Sinatra.
Mm-hmm.
That's like when you're in your revenge era and you're just like, when you talk about revenge dress, your revenge body, all of that.
Next on the list, Goodbye Earl from The Chicks.
Is that because Earl had to die?
Mm-hmm.
That is 3 female country artists we've listed so far.
The Chicks.
Do you see a trend?
Formerly known as Dixie Chicks.
That's right. Next on the list would be Crimea River by Memphis's own and Nicole's favorite, Justin Timberlake.
Yeah.
He gives you
Giving me the ick.
Ooh, this next one, Cell Block Tango.
Ooh, this is such a good one.
That's a good one.
Next on the list, Silver Springs, Fleetwood Mac.
You can't have a revenge list without some Fleetwood Mac in there.
In the video of her singing it, looking straight at Lindsey Buckingham.
Yeah. Stevie is just Miss Revenge Queen.
Mm-hmm.
What about Since You've Been Gone by Kelly Clarkson?
It's a good one.
song.
Good, powerful
one.
song. Take the last one.
Okay, I couldn't not have this list without Better Than Revenge by Taylor Swift.
I love that there's a smiley face emoji next to it.
Anytime that I put Taylor Swift on this outline, I put a smiley next to it, just so you know.
It's coming.
It's coming, and that's the list.
That's the list. Okie dokie. So what is revenge spending? So it's emotional or impulsive spending as a response to negative events or feelings.
Is it kind of like spicy retail therapy? Is that what I'm learning here?
I think so.
Yeah,
It could be.
Yeah, you can rope it into that. And that's where it kind of goes into episodes we've done before about emotional spending and why do we spend and why do we do what we do. And so this is just that we're labeling it as revenge spending. So it's going to be another pop culture terminology that's used, hashtag revenge spending, because you're splurging. So common triggers may be breakups, bad work day, fights, personal disappointment. Kind of what rattled off my brain immediately was you think that, maybe as a family, you've agreed you're going to start saving. You're going to put money aside for a big purchase. And then you come home and see that your husband's bought a grill. And then it's like, well, if he doesn't care about his saving, then I'm going to go out and buy new shoes or I'm going to buy new clothes. Now, who's being the adult in this situation? Nobody, because you should have had a conversation of, hey, I thought we were saving. I thought we were doing for this goal. But instead, you're meeting what they did. So,
Yeah, I've definitely had a bad work day and been like, you know what? I'm going out and getting bonefish and I'm going to have a nice drink after work because I deserve it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And that's a lot of times it is treat yourself. It's like, I've had a bad day, but you'll like, oh, I deserve this. Like, it's been a bad day. I've had a bad situation happen. Breaking up. That's when you talk about like the revenge body, the revenge dress. Like maybe you get a new makeover, you fix your hair, you do whatever, you won't get your nails done. So all of these are roped into revenge spending. So what are the psychological drivers behind revenge spending? Because, at the end of the day, how we spend, how we save, how we allocate our money goes back to the psychology. So emotions as a driving force. After a breakup or a bad day, people often feel a sense of loss of control. So spending provides a way to regain that control, even if temporary. So you feel like your day has just gone crazy. Everything went wrong. You didn't know what to do. So it's like, look, I'm going to take control again.
Mm-hmm.
This is interesting. U.S. News said basically the pandemic kickstarted revenge spending. It says revenge spending refers to people spending more money after a challenging period of the pandemic. During that time, they couldn't travel, shop, or socialize as freely as before, so they felt the need to make up for it by splurging on purchases.
You know what? Now that you say that, I did make a lot of online purchases during that time, so it makes quite a bit of sense.
So, I mean, and we're just, again, something that COVID changed a lot of people. You know, examples of emotions as a driving force for revenge spending. Someone might buy a flashy new outfit or expensive gadget to redefine their identity or feel a renewed sense of power after a tough breakup or rejection. I mean, that's true. It's, you know, a new outfit, new makeup, new hair, whatever can change your persona.
Mm-hmm. Another aspect of this revenge spending is the science of dopamine. Because shopping activates the brain's reward system, releasing dopamine, which makes you feel good.
Yeah.
So like you said, you want to
happy people don't kill their husbands.
You know, some people like to get their nails done because it makes them feel good.
Yeah.
You get the claws, so maybe you will get some revenge.
And it's, you know, immediate rush or high when making those big purchases, even though the feeling is only fleeting. If you get that, you got the bag, you got whatever, you know, got the box. Very cool.
Now, Cam, this next one answers your question earlier.
Just about to say that. So the third piece of psychology behind revenge spending, it's called retail therapy versus revenge spending. Retail therapy often involves small comfort-driven purchases like scented candles or blankets. Revenge spending is more aggressive and motivated by proving something, often resulting in splurges like luxury items, vacations, or cars.
So this could be the green-eyed monster, too. This could be jealousy that drives you.
Yeah.
So common types of revenge spending. Number one, post-breakup purchases. Think of the phrase, new me, who this? People might buy an entirely new wardrobe, designer shoes, or even book a major makeover. Celebrity examples. Post-divorce, many public figures spend on revenge outfits or extravagant experiences as part of rebranding themselves. I love that Princess Diana is a big example where they talk about her rebranding her revenge dress, that revealing the ensemble was unusual for a member of the typical buttoned-up royal family. But that was not the only reason it grabbed headlines. Diana wore the head-turning number the same night Prince Charles confessed on national television that he had been unfaithful to her.
That's the ultimate revenge dress.
And it's image, because if you feel like you're about to be embarrassed or you feel like something has happened to you, what do you want to do? You want to at least try on the exterior to show that you're unfazed by it, even though we know that emotionally you're going through some stuff. And that's why you're probably outwardly going out of the way to get a new outfit or to change who you are, which is why hairdressers love seeing a breakup coming up or a new guy, a new love, whatever, because that's a great time for them when you want to change your hair. But they also are looking out for you. Are you sure you really want to cut your hair or change your hair color?
Are you sure you want bangs?
Yeah, it's like, that's the question.
You never get bangs without a reason, right?
Okay, the next one.
A career-related splurge, which someone passed over for a promotion might buy an expensive watch or car to display their worth earning. Alternatively, leaving a toxic workplace might inspire to take a lavish vacation or spend on some personal upgrades like a new home office or a laptop.
I don't know about this one because it's like, oh, okay, you got passed over for a promotion, so now I'm going to flash that I can afford to buy these lavish things.
Maybe they don't post about it. Maybe it's just for them.
I feel like people that are revenge, I guess that's a different thing. Like, are you revenge shopping just for yourself, or are you revenge shopping to then outwardly let those that have hurt you see that you're not fazed by it?
You want to talk about petty revenge purchases?
Oh, yeah.
This is my favorite.
This often involves spending with the intent of making someone jealous or proving a point. For instance, buying an expensive handbag and posting it on social media after an ex suggested they couldn't afford one. Have y'all been there?
Oh, yeah. I don't know that I've done this, but I definitely have interacted with people who've done this.
Or upgrading your car right after your neighbor gets a new vehicle to one-up them.
Which, what is that called?
One-upper?
Keeping up with the Joneses.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, we've talked about that in depth, that it's like you get jealous because now Cam's getting all the attention because he's got this new vehicle, has these new kicks, he's got all this stuff going on, and so you want the attention. So you go out and decide to buy something, but is it in your best financial interest? Should you be doing that? Do you want everybody to like you just because you got the new shoes? Like, what's going on here? And I know it seems crazy that we're talking about shoes, but it's at the end of the day, we're all those like little elementary school kids wanting everybody to like each other, and it is based on who has the new shiny toy that day. The financial impact. Ah, yes, financial impact. Short-term versus long-term consequences. In the short term, splurging can lead to immediate gratification, a temporary boost in self-esteem. And yeah, you've got something new to look at, or new dress, or whatever it may be. However, the long-term impact often includes credit card debt, savings depletion, derailing financial goals like buying a house or paying off student loans. My example I used in the beginning is it's so true of, well, my spouse just went and spent all this money on this trip, so I'm going to go buy this or I'm going to go buy that. And it is not a tit for tat. It's you've got to still have your goals. You've got to still have it. And it's if you keep doing that, then you're both just self-sabotaging.
All right, tell us about some hidden cost, Katie.
Hidden cost. Oh my gosh. Emotional regret can follow overspending, leading to stress or even depression when the bills come due. For example, that luxury purse might feel empowering at the moment, but when financial strain sets in, the buyer may regret the impulsive purchase. It's, so true. One of the movies we haven't talked about in a long time, but I used to talk about a lot with financial spending was The Confessions of a Shopaholic, and how she is on her way to a job interview. She needs a job interview. She has maxed out all her credit cards. She's got a collection agency after her, but she has to go buy this green scarf. And it's just like, seriously? And she won't even know if she's going to get the job, but she was convinced that was going to help her get the job. So what about some tips for managing the urge to splurge?
I'll take us through some tips. First, pause before purchasing. Implement a cooling off period, like waiting 24 hours before making a big purchase. This can, of course, help determine if the purchase is truly necessary. So just a little cool off period. Do I really need it?
Do you really need a new disc for your disc offset?
Well, Cam would always say yes.
Always. The second tip to managing the urge to splurge is channel your emotions. Redirect energy into activities like exercise, creative hobbies, or venting to friends.
Oh, I love to vent to friends.
And the third tip is spending limits. Create a small treat yourself fund to satisfy emotional spending urges without jeopardizing your budget.
I'm a huge fan of this, and that's because it's knowing human nature, knowing your personality. If you know you are the type of person, and I feel like I've talked about this a ton, if you know you're the type of person that is going to catch yourself in those positions where you've had a bad day or something's happened and you really want to treat yourself, you want to get new shoes, you want to get a new disc, whatever it may be, build it into your budget. But it's also have a conversation with, the people in your family, whoever you're sharing finances with about this. Now, the psychology aspect of it, you get broken up with, you lose a job. There is some science behind refreshing your look, doing different things can make you feel better, can really help overall, which then boosts your confidence, which then helps you move on and goes to your next step of what your life's going to be. But do it financially smart. Be smart about it. Make sure that you're not jeopardizing putting yourself into debt. And so now it's like, great, you look good, you refreshed yourself, but now you're in a worse situation than you were to begin with. So it doesn't have to be materialistic always. It doesn't have to be keeping up with the Joneses. This day and age, social media is wonderful, and it's also terrible because you constantly see these people who have the next best thing. They have the designer stuff, or they constantly are having new clothes, new things. And you have to kind of look and see, like, is it really theirs? Are they on a borrow system? Are there companies that are sending them this information? Like, what is their financial situation that they can afford a new car every year? Like, what is that? But it is, especially in a sense of jealousy, because that's revenge spending. It really boils down to jealousy for a lot of it is, you get passed over for a job, you get broken up with, you're going to look at who is the person that beat you out and try and be better than them. So if they have Lexus, then you're going to try and have a BMW or an Audi. Like, you're going to try and have something better than them. And it's just, that feels good for that half a second. And then you're like, oh, what did I do?
It's that dopamine.
Yeah.
It's like a trigger.
Yeah. And then that's kind of like the shame sets in and you're like, why did I do this? And you can also catch yourself, as we talked about this before, when you get wrapped into that revenge spending or that green-eyed monster type reality, you can lose yourself. Because you're just like trying to keep up a certain persona, trying to do stuff, trying to buy things. And then it's like, do I really actually want to do this? Or did this start as I was trying to make myself feel better? And then now it's consumed me. So the last thing on here is reframing the narrative. So instead of splurging on things with short-term value, focus on purchase or investments that align with personal growth. We talked about kind of like fitness programs, taking professional development courses, setting up a savings account, or starting an investment portfolio. Those don't sound as nice as like brand new shoes or a disc or a purse. Like
Birkin.
Yeah, it doesn't sound as nice, but again, that's where Cam talked about pausing before purchase, really evaluate, really thinking about it. And it's like, okay, could it be that I'm going to start saving up so I can go to 5 concerts a year, or I'm going to do these different things? Because there has been, and I've seen this firsthand, I've had some clients that are big treat yourself clients, and I've been able to work with them to find that balance. And it's like, don't treat yourself every single day. Break it down and treat yourself once every couple of weeks. Put that money that you were going to treat yourself, and then that can be for big treats. And so it all boils down to psychology and how you want to spend, what you want the impact to be. But it's, again, would you rather have a short term, or would you rather have something that's a little bit lasting longer and it's a good investment? Now, if you already needed a car and it works out that it can be a better car and you can kind of also flex a little bit, like, oh yeah, I'm doing good. Okay, do it. But don't just make those decisions because you're mad. The cooling off period is key.
Yeah, I'd say like this jealousy spending thing. Like, what about just focusing on what truly brings you joy? Because not often, like, purses and stuff, like, bring you this, like, eternal joy. It's, like, real quick fix, and then you're back down. But, like, focusing on...
It's kind of hard to cuddle purses and shoes.
Yeah, like friendships, family, the deeper things. And it can be hard to focus on those when you are in a rage or jealous. You just want that quick fix.
And looking happy is the best revenge. Like, actually being happy. Because I think if they're my personal opinion, if somebody's just flashing all this nice stuff they have, I bought this, I bought that gives me one impression. But if I am seeing that Nicole is going and hanging out and having dinner with her friends and posting pictures, and the next night she's going to walk around the park with somebody, like she's posting all these great pictures of her truly looking like she's living life and thriving, that's a totally different persona. Because it's, look, yeah, she may be spending some money to go get the drinks, to go do different things like that, but she's putting herself out there of how she's happy, she's thriving. Maybe she's getting to hang out with friends and stuff that she wasn't in the previous situation she was in.
Call that hashtag living my best life.
See? Yeah. But that's a longer term. It's, building relationships. It's investing in people instead of investing in a product.
That'll preach.
That's like psychologist Katie over here. I really like it.
Every once in a while, you got to dip into that. Because, as we've told our listeners before, finances is very emotional. Whether you have it, you don't have it, you want to have it, you need to have more. Like, it all breaks down to the emotional component of it. And so how we're raised, how we adapt over time. So revenge spending is real. We may all call it different things, but it happens. And so maybe next time something's going on, in the back of your brain, you'll go, is this revenge spending? And is it really worth it? It's also kind of like revenge tweeting, revenge, putting stuff on Instagram, Facebook, whatever. It's like, is this really going to make me feel better?
And it won't go away.
Yeah. Second you put that on the internet, it is there. Mm-hmm. Are you being a keyboard warrior, or does it really do any good? Be the bigger person. Stick to your financial goals. If you catch yourself in the situation where you're angry and you want to revenge spend, you want to do that, talk to a friend. You may not want to call your financial advisor, but if it's me, you can call me. We'll talk about it. We'll hash it out. But, talk to your friends. Be like, hey, I really just need to redirect this energy. Where can I redirect this? And, Nicole's always down to go out to dinner, have a drink, whatever. So
I am.
Give us a call. But I think just, again, awareness of what are the different psychological reasons that we spend, and kind of being aware of, if you fall into this, what do you need to do to not hurt your future self, just to have that short-term gratification of your present self.
And sometimes if you're iconic enough, like Princess Diana,
you
will live on with that revenge dress.
Oh, she's incredible. Like, no one ever can, Chloe's tried to touch her with her whole revenge body, revenge dress stuff, but Princess Diana, it will always be the original.
That's the first thing I think of a lot of times is when you hear revenge dress.
It's her.
It's her.
She started it all.
Yes.
But again, Princess Diana, keyword princess.
Princess.
She's got the pockets that she could do this. You can still be Princess Diana revenge dress by just looking happy and thriving, pulling out that dress that's been in the back of your closet that you've been looking for an excuse to wear.
Or maybe TJ Maxx.
Or TJ Maxx.
Oh, there's the closing bell. Ladies and gentlemen, we hope you enjoyed our mini episode of Bullcast as we talked about revenge dresses and jealousy spending and rage spending and everything in between. If you like what you heard and you'd like to find out more, you can visit us on our website. That is bullcastpodcast.com. On that website, you can read our bios, you can suggest topics, you can comment on things, and you can also subscribe to us through there. We're on all the major platforms, and we launch every single Thursday at noon. So we have social media. We have the social media channels. Facebook, X, Instagram. Our handle is @BullcastPodcast, except for Facebook, that is @Bullcast the podcast. Finally, if you want to read our fancy bios and learn more about what we actually do in our day jobs and learn more about our boss David Pickler, you can go to that website. That is picklerwealthadvisors.com.
That's advisors with an O.
Not an E.
That's it for now. We told you everything we possibly could about how to get revenge on your ex, right? With little black dress. Anyways, for now, I'm Cam.
I'm Katie.
And I'm Nicole.
And that's it.